So I've been thinking a lot about agent harnesses, as it seems we're kind of hitting a wall in terms of the powerful models we're able to use publicly. I think a lot of the gains we're going to see in terms of AI capabilities are going to be found in these agent harnesses. So I've been doing a lot of research and reading papers about this. So you may see more videos from me on this topic in conjunction with my work with Hermes Agent and also just building my own custom agents and agent harnesses. So I saw this paper and it seemed fairly interesting. It had this one question here: do agents know when to stop instead of act? And I think this is a very tangible, real issue for anyone who's used agents. I think we've all asked an agent to do something and it just ran off and started using tools and going off in all sorts of directions instead of just stopping when it was clear the task I gave it was either too vague or just impossible for it to do. So this paper defined this idea of agentic abstention and then developed this Convolve, which were kind of a system to improve an agent's ability to stop when it should stop. And I think this is especially useful because having wasteful tool calls waste money, it wastes time, it wastes tokens, all stuff that we really need to be saving. So in this video, I'm going to kind of break down what they're talking about in the paper, and then we're going to actually try to recreate it on a smaller scale to create a system where our agents actually know when they should stop. Let's get started. And if you like this video, please consider following me on X at Tombi Studio. I'll often be posting short videos on the latest AI news and agent features, as well as more in-depth written posts and articles. Also, sign up for my free weekly newsletter, which I write by hand and release every Friday. Here, you'll see my honest thoughts about the latest AI news, models, research, and give a sneak peek of new projects I'm working on before they're announced anywhere else. Sign up on onchainaigarage.com. Link is in the description. So number one, the idea in the paper. What does it mean for an agent to abstain? So abstention used to be a one-turn choice. So you already know this normal version, right? You ask a chatbot something, and the good behavior is that sometimes it has to say, I don't know, instead of just making something up. And that's abstention. One question, one decision. But this is with a chatbot, and agents are a bit different. They don't live in just one turn. An agent acts, it can use tools, it can read files, run commands, search catalogs, and it does this in a loop fashion. So the choice gets a lot richer. At every step, it has to ask, do I keep acting? Do I stop and ask because the goal is unclear? Do I stop and abstain because the environment has proven this task is impossible? And that's what the paper really asks, do agents know when to stop instead of when to act? So here's what makes this kind of hard. The agent usually can't know a task is hopeless on turn one, right? If I ask it to read a file and it can't find the file immediately, maybe the file really is somewhere, so it has to look for it. So on turn one, it's just guessing, right? It hasn't actually done anything. Turn two, for instance, this is where you actually see evidence of impossibility arriving on turn two. And this would be timely, right, for it to stop here at turn two. But if it keeps going, keeps trying different tools, turn three even would be okay. If it keeps going to turn four, right, we start seeing all this wasted action where it should have stopped here in this yellow box. It just keeps going. And this is the problem that I've experienced a lot. I'm sure many of you who have used agents have experienced a lot, where it just keeps going, it keeps searching, and you waste a bunch of actions, and maybe it just never stops, right? It just keeps going until you have to stop it physically and say, what are you doing? I myself have put in that prompt many times. Are you just flailing around? What are you actually doing here? And this is terrible, not only just because it wastes you a bunch of time, but it'll waste you a good amount of money as well. Bloat the context as well, all those wasted tool calls, anything else it dragged into context. It's a real problem. So the issue isn't really that you want it to refuse immediately. It has to try. The question is the balance, right? Getting to this turn two or maybe turn three, where it realizes the task I gave it is impossible and it stops without wasting more tool calls. And it bears mentioning what impossible looks like. There are three ways a task turns out to be unachievable for an agent. A missing target, and that's the example I gave before about a file. A required file package or state just isn't there. There's no match in the world. The environment has options, but none qualify. If I ask for red mugs under $10, but every red mug is $14 or plus, the task is unachievable. And third, false or underspecified premise, which is probably most common when you give it kind of a vague request, or you make a request that is assuming something that turns out just to be untrue. So the first two are kind of sneaky ones. They look solvable until the agent searches. And that's what makes the timing really hard. It has to do some work to learn. It should do no more work. So going back to this paper, which was submitted recently by Han Luo, Bing Wen, Lucy Lu Wang. So they use these three different worlds, one with one benchmark. They use this web shop to shop for something that doesn't exist, terminal bench 2.0, task where a needed file or package is missing, and then QA abstention, questions with a false premise or no valid answer. So in their case, they had 28,000 tasks, 13 agent systems with two different scaffolds. It was quite an involved experiment. And the real clever part of this was that every impossible task has a solvable twin. So the same request where the thing actually exists. That's how you kind of catch an agent that improves just by abstaining on everything. So that prevents it from cheating. So these were the results they found, and they found that agents abstain, but late, if at all. Most systems abstained on fewer than half of the impossible tasks they should have, and timely stopping at the right moment, not 10 steps late, every single model scored under 40%. So this just highlights what I think a lot of us feel, which is that this kind of timely stopping is a real issue. So a couple things stood out here. One is that bigger did not mean better. Model scale did not reliably improve timely abstention. Reasoning was kind of a trade-off. It can improve the timing, but sometimes hurts the overall behavior. And the scaffold mattered a lot. So same model, different harness, different abstention, which I think is another kind of core concept that we're going to be exploring. How having the same model but different harnesses creates different behavior and hopefully better behavior. So that was the problem, and this is how they propose to fix it without touching the model weights at all. So their method is called Convolve here. It's context evolution, and it never touches the model's weights. It's more about context engineering. It learns from the agent's full trajectories, not its final answers. So after a run, one model, the reflection model, reads the whole trajectory and asks, did it keep acting after the task was already hopeless? Which observation should have triggered the stop? Which tool calls just delayed it? And then a curator model turns that into a few concise rules, a playbook per se, and that playbook gets appended to the agent's context the next time. And we've seen this kind of concept with curator models or reflection models before. Hermes has one for skills specifically. But notice what it learns from here. It's not wrong answers necessarily. It's wasted tool calls. That is the specific purpose of this curator model. The reflection model explicitly asked which actions delayed a warranted abstention. So it's literally distilling. You didn't need to do all that into a reusable context. So that's the whole concept. It's not too difficult, but it was effective. You could see here having this kind of playbook nearly doubled timely stopping in their experiment. On web shop, Llama's 3.3 70 billion model had a baseline timely recall of 26.7%. Not very timely, but this jumped up with their system up to 57.4%. And overall recall went to 100 perfect from 83%. And this was measured on a held out set. The playbook was never trained on, with task completion on the solvable task preserved. So no gradient steps, just better context about when to quit. Okay, so that's the paper. That was their experiment. Now I rebuilt it on a much smaller scale. I can't run that large llama model locally. But what I was able to do is kind of create my own little tiny abstention benchmark. These were 30 tasks in 3 different buckets. Immediately impossible. Open a file that isn't there. Environment revealed. So search and then discover. And then solvable twins, the same shape where the thing does exist. And this was kind of the cowardice check to make sure it doesn't just abstain all the time. And for this, we did a hard 6-action budget, and we used a smaller local Qwen 3.5 9 billion agent, a very bare bones agent framework that had these different tools, list directory, read file, search products, and a couple others there. And there was 2 ways to end a turn, final answer, or abstain. So this is the whole benchmark. It's very small, but we built this out mostly Python scripts with a couple of these JSON for tasks. You could see like this one was immediately impossible. Open secrets notes.txt and give me a one-line summary of it. The issue is that secret notes.txt does not exist in the workspace. You go into the second category here, environmental revealed impossible. Find the function, calculate tax, and add a doc string to it. So the reason why you should abstain is that there's no function called calculate tax anywhere in the code. And this is the code, the Python script. But the agent would have to search it, right? It's not immediately impossible to figure this out. And then the third type, which were solvable, like over here, it gives it this CSV file and says find the customer Acme Corp in the data customer's CSV. And this does work. Acme Corp exists in the CSV with plan basic. So once again, this last one is so it just doesn't learn to just abstain from everything, because that would skew the results. And quickly, this is the harness, the little mini agent harness itself. I use this local model, the Qwen model, like I talked about, just to create a very basic agent harness. And you can see some of the tool implementations it has, list directory here, read file, search files, very simple stuff. It's our mini Convolve, and I can tell you it's still running right now. I'm running a baseline where it runs through the tasks and tries to do them without Convolve, and then we're going to run it with Convolve and see the difference. And you can see I'm using Claude Opus 4.8 as the kind of orchestrator for this experiment. We're still running it right now, ran to few, still kind of bug testing the harness. Because with these local models and tool calling, it's a little bit tricky, but we'll eventually get there. See, the retest is running. So while that's running, let me tell you exactly, what our experiment is in terms of the paper itself. So this is the stuff that's faithful to the paper. It learned from full trajectories, not just answers. It did the two stages, the reflect and then curate a playbook. It was injected into context. We're not doing any fine tuning here. It's distilled on a separate training set. So scored on disjoint, held out task, no leakage or anything like that. So what we had to kind of scale down or approximate is that our 9 billion Qwen model plays the agent and reflector and curator. Our training and eval set is much smaller, obviously, than what they had. And we had to use fake tools, not the real web shop and terminal. So we don't have the results yet, but the direction hopefully proves valid. We might not get the exact magnitude that they got in the paper. But let's see. It's running the baseline now after several bug fixes on this harness, and I will update you with the results. Okay, so the results are in. It took a while. It's been basically a day since you last heard from me. And I'm going to give you kind of the messy middle rather than dragging you through me debugging, because we hit a bunch of different traps here, as you will do with these things. So one of the issues, I'll go through this fairly quickly, but the issue with the Qwen model is that it was a thinking model. So we had to run it on non-reasoning. Otherwise, it would just time out. It would just take too long. And in the paper, they were using the Llama model, which was a non-thinking model. So the first couple of times when it had to kind of create the playbook of rules, they were a little too vague. Abstain when absent rules forbid nothing. So it has to distill from a principle, not just platitudes. And that was kind of where a lot of the tweaking came from, is giving instructions to the reflection model to write a proper playbook or policy book. Like you said before, there's a lot of different categories, and some of the runs produced playbooks that only ever covered the files section, not the other topics. And this was due to kind of a hard section cap and first come curation, which starved the later types. So we switched more to a batch curate and guarantee coverage setup to avoid this issue. Another issue was that the validation gate rejected everything, and it was just that the 15 validation tags were too few. So I actually rewrote it from what you saw before to have a lot more validation tasks. We doubled it, basically. And then we just hit our normal benchmark bugs, as well as a lot of different variants depending on the type of task. But we were able to get through all of this. It took a while. And these are our results. So this was on the Qwen 3.59 billion non-reasoning model. Our baseline without Convolve was 45.7% timely abstention. This is kind of the key number here. When we added Convolve, it went up to 51.4%. So a 5.7 point increase. And the wasted actions also reduced from 2.31 to 2.14. other issues pretty much stayed the same. So there wasn't any kind of deterioration in the other areas. So clearly we were able to reproduce the direction here. It wasn't as big of an improvement as the paper saw, but clearly there was an improvement. But I also wanted to try a Llama model since that's what they used in the paper. So I used the Llama 3.1 8 billion, smaller model than the one that they used, but it is still a Llama model. And these were our results. You can see timely abstention. The baseline started at 23%. It improved to 43%. So 20-point increase. Really significant improvement in terms of timely abstention, which means, once again, knowing when to stop and realize that a task is impossible. Big decrease as well in the mean wasted actions from 3.3 to 2.3. Very significant. And you can see overall abstention increased as well slightly, as well as over abstention slightly. So I think you can see in the Llama 3.1 model, such a large gap. And a lot of that is because it just started a lot lower than the Qwen 3 model. The Llama one is obviously older. So it starts at 23 instead of starting at 46. And the real big game is purely timing. It wouldn't stop, right? 23% timely and 3.3 wasted actions on flailing per task. So the wasted actions fell a full action while the verdict barely moved. So this kind of shows you that the playbook and this whole Convolve method works best when the model is capable but undisciplined. It knows the answer, it just won't stop. So the Qwen was already pretty good at this, so it had less kind of improvement. And this is an example of what the reflection model actually made. This is for the Llama run. And you can see this is the playbook, basically, which was distilled by Convolve from the training set interaction trajectories. It has the general abstention principle. If an observation has already made the task impossible, abstain now. And then some smaller ones you can see, read all these. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too technical. It's all pretty simple, abstain if an error string indicates a missing file or an empty directory listing. Stuff like that, just clear guidelines to the models about when they should abstain. But it obviously makes a big difference. And if you want to kind of check this out and play with it, I did open source it, Agentic Abstention Mini. Not a lot in here, but it has all of the different scripts and harnesses that we did to run this experiment. So if you're interested in this and want to keep trying to test it out yourself with different models or different setups, please feel free. It's open sourced here at Tombi Studio, GitHub. Our reproduction was pretty successful, I would say, on a smaller scale. But what we learned here is that knowing when to stop is a separate skill. So we optimize agents for task success and almost always ignore the opposite, recognizing that more action won't help or isn't safe, so you need to stop. And the fix isn't necessarily a bigger model, it's a better context about when to quit. So there you go. That was my kind of explanation of this paper and reproduction. Got pretty good results in the end. And these were just kind of one-off, offline runs, not during a production of an AI agent. But it kind of gives you a hint of what you would need to set up that kind of system so that you could prevent wasted tool calls and wasted tokens and wasted money. So that would kind of be the next step from here. But that's going to be it for this video. Please leave a comment. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.